Hi, I'm Charl from Pangolin Photo Hosts here in Chobe National Park, and here on the river with me is Marco. So for you that maybe don't know Marco was last year as well here with us, and he was so kind to lend us all his magnificent gear. He is a big Sony fan, as you can see, and the new camera to his addition was the Sony A7 IV, which I was really curious about how this camera performs in wildlife, as the price range is the same as the R6, which we have tested already. So I would tell you at the end of the video who this camera is for, what I like and what I don't like about this camera. Before we get started, Marco, welcome back again. How was your time here so far?
It's incredible, you know. Chobe National Park is one of my happy places. Every day is different. It's really amazing. We had some really crazy sightings already just in a couple of days, so I'm really looking forward to what's coming next.
For you who don't know, Mark could also have his own YouTube channel. It's more for our German followers. It's only in German, so please have a look at that. Then let's go back to the A7 Mark IV. So one or two things that was really interesting for me in this camera was that 33 million pixel sensor that we'll discuss later. And then of course the bird and animal tracking of this camera. Let's start off with the camera design. First of the grip, they made this bigger than the previous one, the A7iv. You can see got a similar hand grip than the A1, which is really nice in the hand. A lot of space between the lens and the grip here, so even with bigger hands you should be easily holding this camera. On top you have a few dials here, but the first one that you will notice is different from the other cameras is they have this dual dial now here, and it have like a click turn wheel here which you can switch between photo and video. They have the normal exposure compensation dial here, but what you will notice is they don't have the numbers on top. Good thing about this, it's not just dedicated for exposure compensation. You can really customize any of these wheels the way you would like it. They also moved the record button on top, so the record button is now for video on top of the camera, not on the back anymore. In the side of the camera you have your memory cards. This is something I really like from Sony in this design. You have either two UHS Mark II cards, or you can use the CF Express Type A card. So if you want a faster card, you have the possibility, or you can just use your normal SD cards. This is really a good design from Sony, and I really like that. The viewfinder from the A7 Mark IV was good. I don't say it wasn't great, but it was good. Same power than the Canon R6. When you look through it, the colors and everything I was happy with. Very noticeable on the A7 IV is the blackouts, which can be quite challenging when shooting at fast frame rates and try to track a bird in flight. The screen on the back, so they have a new screen now in this camera, which is articulated touch screen. It's much better than the previous screens that I have. They just have the normal flip screen. This is really nice, something I use a lot. And you can even do now a vertical low angle as well. That was not possible with the previous screen. So this is really good. Only downside of it, the quality on the screen is not very good. I think with today's technology, we could have really had better quality. Nowadays, people use the screens quite a lot. So to have a good quality screen for me is a must today in these cameras. I found that the Canon R6 screen was a lot better. A little bit better screen would have been appreciated here. So even now on the entry-level full-frame Sony cameras, they introduced the same menu system than they have on the A1, which is really nice. Easy to work with. I felt very similar to the Canon system, so that was really joy to work with. Talk about customization. There's so many options and possibilities on these cameras. So for any style of photography, that makes it really well and easy to use with all the dials here. a back dial, you have all the different customized buttons here, C1, 3, and then your joystick. Very easy joystick to use to move your focus point around. And then something I almost forgot is the battery. I didn't have any issues with the battery. I did shoot quite long video and photos, so between my trips I had to charge the battery, but while I was on a trip I never had to change the battery. So the battery life of the camera was really good, and that was always exciting to know you don't have to carry so many batteries with. So that's a really good plus point for Sony. The A7 Mark IV have a new designed 33 million pixel sensor, which was very interesting for me, as I found this is a sweet spot for wildlife photography. Anyway, for me, this is a right size sensor amount of pixels for me. It's not too much, it's not too little, so your file sizes is not that big. Looking at the image quality, it was really good. There was so much details in some of the bird images that I've taken. When I was really close, the details, I was really happy with this. Looking at the low light of the sensor, it was good, but it wasn't great. I think for a 33 million pixel sensor, it was good. Comparing it with the R6 for me, I know they have less pixels. I just found the camera was a lot better in low light. The colors of the camera, really good. When I was editing the images, it came out really well. The dynamic range, I was very happy about it. Talk about dynamic range. The camera gives you an option to shoot either uncompressed, you have lossless, large, medium and small compressed, or compressed raw. Now I've been testing the camera between these different options, and I have to say between compressed and uncompressed raw, I didn't really see much difference in the shadows. A little bit in the highlights, so if your exposure was really spot on, you would not see any difference at all. But where you could see the difference, the file size is almost by half smaller, which is a big advantage when you want to come to your frame rates. Unfortunately, when you shoot full raw, you only have about 6 frames per second. Now, in wildlife today, I don't think that is enough. A few years back, that would have been suitable for a lot of people. I think 6 frames a second is a little bit slow. And then you can move to compress raw, and then you can have about 10 frames per second. This is a lot better. I think if you will use this camera for wildlife, you're probably going to shoot that way the most time. As with any other mirrorless camera, you have the option between shooting mechanical shutter or electronic shutter. I've did use the mechanical shutter most of the time, but if you use the electronic shutter, just be aware that there's quite rolling shutter visible, distortion in the background, especially when there is straight lines or trees in the background and you do birds in flight and you move your camera from left and right, you will definitely see that in the background. It's quite visible. I'm not going to go much in details about the autofocus areas of the Sony camera, as they were all pretty much the same as the A1 and the A7iv. I was more interested in the animal and the bird autofocus or eye tracking. I've used both of them. The animal tracking works really well on the animals, your normal mammals. Not so good when I forgot maybe to switch over to birds when I want to photograph birds. It didn't grab the birds always that well. But when I did switch over to the bird tracking, it worked well on animals and birds. So I think if you only shoot wildlife the whole time, you can actually just keep it on bird tracking. It do a good job on both sides. What I found on the bird tracking is, when I'm photographing birds, is if I'm a little bit far away from the birds, it did track the whole bird. It keeps on, for me, sticking more on the center of the bird, more on the chest area. I have to be really close to the bird before it jumps straight to the eye. Otherwise, the tracking was really good. When I did birds in flight, it did grab the bird. All in all, it works really well, and it's a great feature for wildlife photography. Something I also like to do while I take photos is of course a bit of video now and then. So I like to switch very quickly between photo and video, and this camera offers exactly that. It's a really good hybrid camera, so easily between photo and video. And a video they offer, you have 4K 30 frames, you have 4K 60, but it's crop, which is not always a bad thing in wildlife photography. Always give you that extra reach, which is nice. And then unfortunately no 4K 120, but you have full HD 120, which I use quite a lot. The stabilization on the camera is around 5 stops. I wish there was a little bit more, like you could find on the Canon R6, around 8 stops. It just is more helpful, especially when you use longer lenses and you shoot video out of the hand. Yeah, to sum it up about this camera, what I really like, the main thing I like is that 33 million pixel sensor. The details that come out of it, the colors out of it was really good. Then of course the articulated touchscreen that the camera have now, for me that was a big plus. The fact that you have the option between SD card and CF Express A cards, that I really enjoyed. And then of course the animal and bird eye tracking, which is such a big plus today if you do wildlife photography. The things that I didn't like about the camera was the rolling shutter. When you do electronic shutter, it's a little bit of a downfall for me. And then of course not enough frames per second. So for who is this camera? My opinion is, if you're a photographer that do a little bit of everything, a little bit of landscape, a little bit of portraiture, even a little bit of wildlife, and of course then some video with it, then this camera is a perfect camera for you. It's a great hybrid camera. If you are a photographer, a wildlife photographer, and your main focus is action photography, a lot of birds in flight, any action, fast movement, then I don't think you're going to be satisfied with this camera. And main thing is because of that low frame rate and that rolling shutter. Okay, Marco, you have some really nice gear, top of the range from Sony cameras. Why were you interested in this camera? Why did you buy this camera for you?
That's a good question. For me, the main reason was the 33 megapixel, to be honest, because that's for me, you already mentioned it, but it's also for me my sweet spot. Actually, I would love to have my A1 only around 33 or 36 megapixel. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason was the autofocus, eye autofocus for birds, also in video, that the A1 is lacking, even though it's the more expensive, more advanced camera system. And of course also the price. It's a good price, good value for money, and I thought it would be just a good combination together with my A1, and 24 megapixel that the A9 II has is a little bit, for me, not as much as I want, let's call it that way. That was the reason why.
Great camera, really enjoyed it, Marco. Thank you again for me using it for the last couple of days. Thank
My
you
pleasure.
for you visiting us again. I'm sure we're going to see you again around.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Thank you for watching, and if you have anything else to add, please let us know in the comments down below, or if you have any other questions. Until next time.